Welcome back to Talk About It in English, where we get you ready for real life. Today, we are going to build an emergency brake pedal for your English. Picture this. It is Tuesday morning, you are standing outside a loud, crowded subway station when a stressed commuter steps right into your personal space and fires off a rapid, blended sentence like, "Hey, excuse me, do you know which way the passport office is? I'm in a huge hurry." Notice that sudden, sickening drop in your stomach, the instant urge to panic, lie, say, "No English," and run away?
I used to do this all the time. My brain would completely shut down, and I would tell people I didn't know where a building was, even if I was standing right next to it, just because I was terrified of their speed.
By the end of this video, you will have 3 specific phrases memorized to slow native speakers down, buy yourself time to think, and safely give directions even if you do not know the street name.
That feeling of wanting to run away is so universal. It is the classic fight or flight response. When someone approaches you on the street, especially in a busy transit hub or a crowded city center, your brain perceives their fast, blended English as a physical threat. Your heart rate actually goes up. All the vocabulary you studied quietly in your bedroom simply vanishes.
And the worst part is the guilt you feel afterward. You walk away, your heart is pounding, and 10 seconds later, your brain calms down. Suddenly, you realize you actually understood the question. You know where the passport office is. You passed it 10 minutes ago. But because you panicked and shut down the interaction, you feel like you failed, and you feel bad for not helping them.
Exactly. We judge our entire English ability based on these tiny high-stress moments. But the truth is, your English did not fail you. Your interaction management failed you. You were expecting a slow, polite, textbook dialogue. You were expecting someone to stand 2 feet away, smile, and say, "Excuse me, sir, could you please tell me where the passport office is located?"
But real life does not sound like a textbook audio track. Real life is messy. Native speakers are late for work, they're holding a coffee in one hand and their phone in the other. They do not enunciate their words. They push everything together into one long sound. And the secret that changes everything is realizing that you do not have to match their chaotic energy. You are allowed to take control of the pacing.
That was the biggest breakthrough for me. I used to think that if someone spoke to me at 100 miles per hour, I had to reply at 100 miles per hour, or I would look stupid. I thought that asking them to slow down was a confession that I was bad at English.
It's actually the exact opposite. Asking someone to slow down is a service to them because it's the only way you can actually help them get to where they need to go. If you panic and say, "Sorry, I don't know," they have to go bother someone else. If you slow them down, you solve their problem.
Let us give you the first tool in your toolkit. This is your emergency brake pedal. You need to memorize this so deeply that you can say it without thinking. The phrase is, "Sorry, could you slow down just a bit? I'm still learning English."
We are going to break this down completely because the way you deliver this phrase determines how the other person will react. Let's start with the first half. "Sorry, could you slow down just a bit?" The tone here is crucial. You want to sound warm, helpful, and completely calm. You do not want to sound angry or defensive.
Right. If you raise your voice and say it sharply, like you're annoyed, they will get defensive. But if you keep your voice steady and add a slight smile, it instantly disarms them. Let's look at the pronunciation. Native speakers do not say every single letter clearly. Listen to how the words "could you" blend together. It doesn't sound like "could" and "you," it sounds like "could ya."
Could ya? That's a perfect example of connected speech. When a word ending in a D sound meets a word starting with a Y sound, they crash together and make a J sound. Could ya? Let's practice that right now, wherever you're listening. Repeat after me. Could ya?
Could ya? Slow down. Notice how the rhythm flows. And then we have the end of the phrase, just a bit. Again, we don't separate these words. The T in just often disappears completely, and the words flow together as just a bit.
Let's put that whole first half together. I'll say it slowly, and I want you to shadow me. Shadowing means you try to copy my exact melody, my rhythm, and my tone. Take a breath. "Sorry, could you slow down just a bit?"
Now let's look at the second half of the brake pedal. I'm still learning English. I know some learners hate saying this. They feel embarrassed admitting it. But in a street encounter with a frantic stranger, this phrase is an absolute superpower.
It really is. When you say, I'm still learning English, you instantly change the dynamic of the interaction. The native speaker suddenly realizes they've been rude by speaking so fast. They immediately shift from being stressed and hurried to being patient and accommodating. It flips a switch in their brain.
I have used this phrase dozens of times, and the reaction is almost always the same. The person stops, their shoulders drop. They usually smile gently, and they say, "Oh, I am so sorry." And then they repeat their question at half the speed, using much clearer words. It works like magic.
Let us practice the full brake pedal. Imagine that stressed commuter is right in front of you. Stand your ground, put a gentle smile on your face. You are in control of this moment. Repeat after me, and let the words roll smoothly. Sorry, could you slow down just a bit? I'm still learning English.
Excellent. You have hit the brakes. You have bought yourself time. The person has now slowed down, and you understand what they are looking for. They want the passport office. But now we hit the second major problem. You know where the building is, but you do not know the name of the street.
This is where A2 and B1 learners trap themselves again. You think, oh no, I don't know the vocabulary. I don't know the phrase for go past the traffic light and turn north on Elm Street. Because you lack the perfect geographic vocabulary, you decide you cannot help at all.
I remember a tourist asking me where a specific museum was. I knew exactly where it was. It was a 5-minute walk away. But I could not remember the English word for intersection, and I forgot the name of the street the museum was on. I stood there, staring at them in silence for 5 seconds, panicking, trying to search my brain for the word intersection. Eventually, I just shook my head and said, "Sorry."
That's heartbreaking, because they didn't need the word intersection, they just needed a direction to walk in. We need to completely remove the pressure of being a human GPS. You do not need to give perfect map directions. You just need to give a half answer.
The half-answer framework is all about managing the interaction with partial information. You admit what you do not know, and then you offer what you do know, paired with body language.
The target phrase for this is, I don't know the exact street, but I know it's heading that way. This phrase is beautiful because it lowers expectations immediately, but still provides immense value to a lost person.
Let's break it down. I don't know the exact street. When you say this, I want you to put the stress on the word exact. This implies that you have the general knowledge, just not the microscopic details. Listen to the difference. If I say, I don't know the exact street, I sound totally lost. But if I say, I don't know the exact street, I sound like a helpful local who just can't remember a minor detail.
Let's practice that stress pattern. I want you to push slightly harder on the word exact. Ready? Shadow me. I don't know the exact street.
Great. Now for the second part, which is where you actually provide the help. But I know it's heading that way. The magic of this phrase relies entirely on your physical body. You cannot say this phrase with your hands in your pockets. You have to physically point down the road while you say it.
The phrasal verb, heading that way, is so much more natural than saying, go in that direction. Native speakers use heading all the time to talk about movement. Where are you heading? I'm heading home. It's heading that way.
Pay attention to the connected speech here too. The G at the end of heading is very soft. It is not a hard clicking sound. And the words that and way flow together. Head in that way.
Let's practice the physical action along with the speech. I want you to actually raise your arm and point to your left right now. Yes, physically do it, even if you're just walking in the park listening to this. Connect the physical movement to the words in your mouth. Point and repeat after me. But I know it's heading that way.
When you combine those two halves, you'd give the stranger everything they need to make progress without needing any complex vocabulary. You say, I don't know the exact street, but I know it's heading that way. The stranger will thank you, walk in that direction, and ask someone else when they get closer. You were helpful. You spoke natural English, and you survived the interaction without panicking.
If building these natural, real-world reflexes is helping you feel more confident, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our weekly practice sessions. We're here to help you stop translating in your head and start speaking comfortably.
So, you have the brake pedal and you have the half answer, but we have to address the worst-case scenario. What if you hit the brakes, the person slows down, they ask their question clearly, and you genuinely have absolutely no idea what they're talking about? You've never heard of the building, you don't know the area, and you can't give a half answer.
This happens to everyone, even native speakers. You can't know every building in the city. The problem for English learners is that when this happens, they revert to the harsh, abrupt, "Sorry, I don't know," and then they awkwardly walk away while the other person is still standing there. It feels incredibly rude.
We need to teach you how to pass the baton. Think of a relay race where runners pass a stick to the next person. If you cannot help the stranger, your job is not to abandon them. Your job is to gracefully hand them over to someone who can help them. This makes you look incredibly competent and friendly, even though you did not actually answer their question.
The target phrase for passing the baton is, "You're better off asking the attendant right over there." Let us look at the core of this phrase. You're better off. This is a fantastic native chunk of English. It means it would be a better situation for you.
We use better off to give gentle advice. Instead of commanding someone by saying, "Go ask the security guard," which sounds a bit bossy, saying you're better off asking the security guard sounds like you were sharing an insider secret to help them succeed.
It is a very empathetic phrase. Let us practice the pronunciation of better off. In American English, those T sounds in better turn into soft D sounds, like a quick flap of the tongue, better. And the R in better links directly into the O in off, better off.
Try shadowing that specific chunk. Keep the tongue relaxed. Better off. You're better off.
Now we add the action, asking the attendant. You can swap the word attendant for whoever is nearby, a security guard, a barista in a coffee shop, a bus driver. You are directing the stranger to an authority figure who is paid to know the area.
And the final piece of the phrase is the location marker, right over there. This is another moment where your body language is required. You must point to the person you are talking about. Adding the word right before over there is a great native touch. It emphasizes that the solution is very close and easy to find.
Let us put the whole baton pass together. Imagine you are pointing to a ticket window across the lobby. You want to sound encouraging, like you are wishing them luck. Repeat after me. You're better off asking the attendant right over there.
This phrase is the ultimate escape hatch. It allows you to exit an interaction that you do not have the vocabulary for while leaving the other person feeling supported. You did not run away, you managed the situation.
Now it is time for the most important part of this episode. We are going to put you through a shadow-along pressure test. Listening to us explain these phrases is great for their cognitive memory, but cognitive memory disappears when your heart rate goes up on the street. We need to build your muscle memory.
We're going to simulate the exact scenario from the beginning of the episode. I'm going to play the role of the frantic, stressed commuter. I'm going to step into your space and talk too fast. You cannot pause the audio. You have to respond in real time in the gaps we leave for you.
We will do this in 2 rounds. Round 1 will be slightly slower, just to let you find your footing. In round 1, your goal is to successfully deploy the brake pedal, wait for James to slow down, and then successfully deploy the half answer. Do not worry about being perfect. Just get the words out of your mouth. Stand up if you can. Get your physical body ready to point.
Here we go. Round 1. You're standing near the station. I'm walking toward you quickly. I look stressed. Excuse me, do you know where the passport office is? I really need to find it.
Now, hit the brakes. Say it out loud.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm just in a rush. Do you happen to know where the passport office is located?
He slowed down. Give him the half answer. Point your finger.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Fantastic. How did that feel? Did you stumble over the words? Did you forget the phrase heading that way? That's completely normal. That friction in your brain is the feeling of actual learning happening.
When you do this in real life, your mouth will feel dry and your heart might beat a little faster. That's why we practice the physical act of speaking. Now, we're going to do round 2. This is real-world speed. I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to blend my words heavily.
In this round, you are going to use the brake pedal first, but this time, when James repeats the question, I want you to pass the baton. You don't know where the building is, so you're going to point to a security guard and tell him he's better off asking them. Take a deep breath, shake out your shoulders. You are in control.
Round 2. It's loud. People are pushing past you. I suddenly stop right in front of you. Hey, excuse me, I'm in a huge hurry. Do you know which way the passport office is?
Hit the brakes, calm and warm.
Oh, gosh, sorry. I'm speaking way too fast. I'm looking for the passport office. Do you know where it is?
Pass the baton, point to the guard.
Oh, the security guard. Got it. Thank you.
Yes, you did it. You successfully managed a high-stress, unpredictable native speaker interaction without running away and without apologizing for your lack of vocabulary.
Notice how different that feels compared to just freezing and saying no English. You took a chaotic situation, you slowed it down to a speed you could handle, and you provided a helpful conclusion. That is what real fluency looks like. It is not about knowing every word in the dictionary. It is about confidently navigating the messiness of human communication.
We have covered so much ground today. You learned why your brain panics during fast speech and why native speakers run their words together. You learned how to use connected speech in phrases like could ya and just a bit. And most importantly, you now have a complete toolkit to manage strangers on the street.
You have the brake pedal to slow things down. You have the half-answer framework to give general directions without street names, and you have the pass the baton technique to gracefully exit an interaction by directing them to an authority figure.
Your homework this week is to mentally rehearse the brake pedal phrase every time you walk out your front door, making it your automatic reflex before anyone even speaks to you.
You have the tools now, so do not run away next time someone asks for help. Stand your ground and try it out.
If you struggle with freezing up when people ask you questions, click the video on screen now to learn how to handle unexpected small talk at the grocery store. See you next time.